Mike Walker in charge for his first home match. And before we join Clive Tilsley's commentary, some pre-match opinions on the new Everton boss from the fans.
It's a great appointment, yeah. I think we was going to go. I think we'd have got relegated if he hadn't come in yet.
It's the best thing that's ever happened to this club for years. Good team leader, and he's just think he's the man for the job.
I think he's going to do well here. But I tell you what I would like to see. I'd like to see the board of directors sorting themselves out.
He's done well at Norwich. He's taken to talk to the club, like, and he might do well for Everton.
Yeah, I mean, I had good times at Norwich, obviously, and the fans were superb. But I mean, the week I've been here, it's been unbelievable. I mean, you know, or even the reception at Bolton last week. But certainly the enthusiasm is all for everybody to see.
And the expectation?
Yeah, well, that's fine. I'm not worried about that. That's what I come here for. So that doesn't bother me. You know, what it does show is that they're on the same wavelength as I am. You know, I want to be successful, and I think they've left it no doubt that they want to be.
Everton's club motto decrees that only the best is good enough. It's a good job that Mike Walker's an ambitious man. He's got a lot to live up to. It's only 6 years since Everton were the best, champions twice in 3 seasons. But Mike has got what he wanted, a club with the will and the wherewithal to back him to the very top. There'll be something like £7 million for him to spend with boardroom changes in the offing. And yesterday, he signed up the week's most wanted man. Brett Angel rejoins Everton for a second loan spell, but is set to complete a £500,000 move from Southend this time. Without him, it would have been a mini Everton attack because Paul Rideout is injured. There are recalls today for Andy Hinchcliffe and John Ebrell to a team that's lost its last 5 Premiership games, Everton's worst run for nearly 12 years. Swindon Town have reserved some of their very best football for the very biggest stages, but they've won more friends than points on their travels. Keith Scott, the big centre-forward signed from Wickham in November, is back on duty today. Gerald Ashby, who had charge of the Sheffield United-Manchester United Cup tie last weekend, is back on match of the day. And it says something about the task that Mike Walker has taken on, that Swindon are the form team in this match. Early header from Angel, knocked down by Cottee, Horn with the shot. We're halfway through the season, and Everton have already lost 8 home games. But already there are signs of a fresh start. Barry Horn just a little off balance when he struck the shot, but the combination between Cottee and Angel was instant. Angel to Beagrie. Brilliant play by Peter Beagrie. Still Beagrie. Here's Horn. Jackson. Ward. Space for Jackson. Cottee. Ebrell. Yeah! He couldn't have asked for a better start. John Ebrell gives Everton the lead inside 5 minutes. And the Midas touch from Mike Walker. Beautifully worked. Peter Beagrie's meandering run set it all up. And then Jackson found some space ahead of Ward. And Cottee set up Ebrell. And Ebrell picked his spot. It's John Ebrell's first goal since the opening week of the season. And what an opening for Mike Walker. Horn. Ebrell made another forward run here. It's a corner kick. Nicky Hammond just got a hand on it. But John Ebrell, who has frustrated Everton managers and coaches down the years with his failure to realise his goal-scoring potential, seems to have found the range today. This is in towards Beagrie. Headed away, though, by Whitbread. Ward again. Towards Angel this time, but he was taking a ride. Been a frustrating month for Brett Angel. So much speculation and so little football for him. And he's been out of the Southend side since just before Christmas. Ward smartly in. Beagrie. Well, that was the way he didn't want to go. Somerby. Southall parries. Mutch is in, but Southall brave enough. He'll be a little disappointed he didn't hang on first time, although it was a shot with a sting from Nicky Somerby. And Andy Mutch was loitering with intent. Neville Southall the second time of asking. Well, enough spot for Bodin this time. In towards Mutch. Oh, he did really well. I was really unlucky. Andy Mutch denied by the crossbar. And he really had to wrap his head around that cross from Paul Bodin. He actually had 6 months as an Everton junior, Andy Mutch, but didn't make the grade at the club. Won by Angel. Horn. Hinchcliffe. Beagrie. Here's Angel again. Beagrie. Oof. An element of surprise. It'll come for Everall and for Cottee, and Everton double their money. 3 minutes of the half remaining, and Tony Cottie's 93rd goal for Everton eases some of the worries which were beginning to creep into their play, set up by Everall. Although it was once again Peter Beagrie with that little step inside and that awkward shot which Nicky Hammond couldn't quite deal with, which caused the trouble. And when Everall squared it, Cottee was on hand to slide in what can only be described as a typical Tony Cottee goal. That's his range. Snowden. Beautifully done by Kevin Horlock. Here's Martin Lee. Well, when Mike Walker emerged to that marvellous reception at 3 o'clock, he would have settled for returning to the dressing room with a 2-goal lead. His team were out of the blocks inside 5 minutes with a flying start, a goal from John Everall. Swindon certainly put 1 or 2 hurdles in their way in between times, but Tony Cottee finishing the half strongly gives us an interval scoreline of Everton 2, Swindon Town 0. Football tradition doesn't actually win you trophies or keep you in a job, but there is a tradition of attractive football at Everton. The fans do genuinely care about style as well as results, and it looks like their new manager cares too. His team have certainly gone about their business in a very methodical and appealing way. Hinchcliffe looking for Cottee. And Taylor's looking for Cottee at the moment. And Cottee looking for the goal, strikes the bar. And Taylor heads over. Well, the beginning and end of each half, they're absolutely irresistible, aren't they? He got goal side of Sean Taylor, and he had a real lash at it. So nearly. Hinchcliffe, away by Horlock. Now Everall has gone down clutching his face. Everton surrounding Andy Mutch. And Gerald Ashby has another flashpoint to deal with here. Well, there was an elbow in the face. Now, will Andy Mutch be out of the game? Yes. Not too many people will have much sympathy for him. He's had a really good game, but that was a really bad moment for him. Tangling with Everall, bound to be a little bit of frustration, but absolutely no excuse for that. But it looks like he's going to be able to soldier on. free kick is Swindon Town's because the initial offence was by Ablett. Bodin. It's not the kind of moment that John Gorman's Swindon have become noted for this season. They've pleased so many with their attractive style. I don't think he'll be too pleased with Andy Mutch. Bodin. Pollock. Bodin to Moncur. Now Summerby. Good cross of the ball, Nicky Summerby. Moncur! Oh, how often does it happen? The 10 men are back in business. John Moncur, who scored a beauty at Anfield last month, completes a Mersey double from an excellent cross by Nicky Summerby. And Swindon Town are back in the hunt with 11 minutes of the second half played. Headed by Whitbread. Everall to Horn. Jackson. Ward. Here goes Everall again. Ling concedes the corner. No question of this game just petering out. Ward will take. It's towards Angel. How he'd love to score today. That 3-week trial that he had in September just happened to coincide with a little upturn in Everton's form, and he only got 24 minutes in the first team, and that in a team which was virtually already beaten by Norwich here. Summerby held up by Beagrie. Given straight back though to Horlock. Toffee needed to get in a challenge, and here comes Ablett. Only Angel ahead of him for the moment. Plenty to his right. Ward. Jackson outside of him. Good greatness from Everton. Good covering too by Martin Ling. But a great resilience by Swindon. They've got that gap at the bottom back to just 2 points to the next team. And only 4 points to the escape hatch. And Everton have still got a job on their hands here. Headed by Beagrie, shot by Cotty, never got hold of it. Awkward, twisting. I think his standing foot came away from beneath him. But it wouldn't have needed much of a contact to smuggle the ball past Nicky Hammond. All given away by Snowden, and here's Bodin, and that's 2-2. And Swindon Town just haven't read the script. Paul Bodin cashing in on a careless piece of play by Ian Snowden, and Swindon Town, since the dismissal of Andy Mutch, have turned the game around. Six goals this season for Bodin. 2 goals this afternoon for Swindon, and who'd have thought that was possible when Mutch departed? It's all square. He's every right to be very proud of the way his team have acquitted themselves again. Everall. Beagrie. Caught there by Fenwick. Fenwick went for the ball, but he arrived a bit late. Beagrie. In towards Angel. Oh, off the bar and in by Ablett. Gary Ablett succeeds where Matt Jackson failed. And Everton are back in front. It was Matt Jackson diving in, whose header bounced up against the crossbar. And Gary Ablett, who was on hand to turn it into the unguarded goal. Only his second ever goal for Everton, and I do believe that his first with his right foot, and that's with his unfavoured foot too. And Everton have their noses in front once more in this seesaw match. Horn. Won by Nihal, and here goes Fjørtoft. Now Summerby. Snowden stretching, Fjørtoft! Well, he still hasn't scored for Swindon Town, and he will be returning to Norway at the end of next month for a spell on loan to Lillestrøm. His record move in the summer hasn't really been a success yet, but he's still got it, as England can testify. Ebrel again. Ward. On towards Cottee. Taylor struggling to get there. Cottee has got there. And that should do it. Tony Cottee makes it 4 for Everton. And should have made it safe for Mike Walker on his big day. Swindon exposed. And Cottee pounces for number 14 of the season for him. And maybe the last blow which Swindon will have to take. Fjørtoft. Nihal. Pennick. Tackled by Beagrie. 2 against 2 for the moment. Beagrie could go all the way. He is a spectacular player. His form at the start of the season was spectacular. And there have been glimpses of his best this afternoon. Hammond's denied him. It's come for Ebrel. Well, it would have been a fitting finale for arguably the game's most influential player. He's got plenty to remember the afternoon by, but another goal would have been nice. Hinchcliffe. Horn. Some matador football now from Everton. Swindon are pushing out though. Here's Cottee. Ward's made a run ahead of him. Here goes Mark Ward. Pushed over by Lingwazi. Penalty. Martin Ling, the culprit. Mark Ward forcing his hand. And Everton have a chance to ice the cake for Mike Walker's big party day. Not much doubt about it. Now Tony Cottee's on a hat-trick, but he's had a miserable time from the spot this season. But Mark Ward's saying, go on, have a go. Why not? He has missed a couple and vowed never to take another. Oh! Hat-trick for Cottee. It just got there. 5-2 to Everton. Would you believe the sixth hat-trick of Tony Cotty's Everton career? Great reception for the hat-trick man, Tony Cotty. I think Mike Walker's pretty pleased with him. And certainly, as Stuart Barlow comes on, the Goodison faithful are very happy with Mike Walker. Snowden. Stuart Barlow, who's very, very quick. In towards Angel, they're almost looking for him. Header on by Airball, it's in by Beagrie. And there's the somersault. All the party tricks now, as Everton bask in the glory of what they may look back upon as a famous day. 3 minutes of stoppage time played, and from Stuart Barlow's cross, Peter Beagrie scores his first league goal on this ground for over a year. First time they've seen the acrobatics here at Goodison in a league match in that time. Instant results for Mike Walker. Everton's first win since Howard Kendall's last game in charge 5 weeks ago. Overnight success for a new manager hired to restore old winning habits. John Gorman's Swindon made it very awkward for him at times this afternoon. The scoreline doesn't begin to do justice to them. In cold, harsh terms, a valuable win over relegation rivals. But a marvellous day which every Everton fan will treasure, which Mike Walker will look back on with great joy and satisfaction. And in the longer term, who knows what he can achieve here. The man with the silver hair and the silver tongue has brought his golden touch to Goodison Park today. Everton winners by 6 goals to 2.
Mike, that must be pretty much the way you dreamed it last night.
Well, some of it was, yeah. I wasn't too happy with the goals we conceded and 1 or 2 little things, but I mean, we've got to be happy with a good win at home, and 6 goals as well as a bonus.
Over and above the result, what pleased you most?
Well, the fact that we came back and you know, got to 2-2, when really we were playing, I thought we were in control of the game, and then we give a silly goal away and then got another one. But overall, there's signs obviously that we can do something. But I'm just pleased with the attitude of the players at 2-2. I mean, it would have been easy to have folded again, and they kept being positive, and eventually it came right and we got the goals.
I think what also pleased the fans was the style of the football. It's clear you've been told to pass it from back to front.
Yeah, of course it is. I mean, there's no point in us just whacking balls up there, because that's not our game. We've got to play to our strengths, and we've done that today. We've got Brett there for a bit of option and that, but you know, the manager's emphasising we've got to pass the ball, and I think that's the way to play the game. So credit to the manager.
Has that been the theme of his training this week?
Very much so. Yeah, pass it and move, and you know, as long as the manager's encouraging that, I'm more than happy.
Are you playing well enough to get out of the trouble?
Well, obviously, if you lose 6-2, it's hard to tell you've played well, isn't it? But you were at the game. I don't suppose, as I said, no disrespect, but when the highlights go out, you just see the goals and the chances that Everton had. But you didn't see all the good football that went in between, with some magnificent performances there. But yes, we are at times bad. We're losing bad defensive errors. We're getting punished for things. But I'm still proud of the way we're playing football, and we'll just have to keep believing in ourselves. But it's against all the odds at the minute. But again, we just are a team that never ever give up, as you've seen today.
Everton, the first team to score 6 in the Premiership this season. They might have got a little nervy when Swindon got back to 2-2, do you feel?
No, I always thought they were well in control and they were going to win the game. And it was a dream start for Mike Walker, because they've scored 1 goal in the last 4 league games. I've said they've been crying out for a big man for 3 years. Suddenly they get Brett Angel and they score 6 goals.
Looks like the business.
He did all right today. Whether they'll sign him or not, I wouldn't know, but I think they must have a chance.
Why are Swindon leaking so many goals? 60.
Well, first of all, the defence doesn't play as a unit, and secondly, when the ball's in the box, they don't react quickly enough to defensive situations. If you're playing a flat back 4, it's not about individuals, it's about 4 guys playing as a unit. You can't afford to have 2 going forward and 2 going back, or 3 going back and 1 going forward. You've got to have the 4 of them being together. Now, if you watch the good defences, you'll see that the 4 of them will be together. Now, this is Manchester United today against Tottenham. Now, the 3 players in the line here, and the one out of picture is Irwin, and you know that he is in the line as well, because when Barnby gets the other side, automatically he is offside. So the three of them are together, Irwin's together, making the fourth one, and that is good defending. But this is bad defending. This is Snodden. This has come from a set play. It's 2 minutes into the game. Now watch the line of the Swindon back four. They are really all over the place, and what that allows is the 4 Everton shirts here to converge in goal. And this is what happens after 8 or 9 minutes of the game. This is Horn the ball. Everett makes a run. Now we've circled the Swindon defence again. 3 of the back 4. Now they're in bad positions. That would be bad enough. But when we run it, Fenwick's even further back and allows Everett to get on, and Hammond makes a good save. And I think this sums the whole Swindon play up defensively. We've got Martin Ling. He's tracking Barry Horn back here. Watch him. Hand up there on the halfway line, trying to play offside, when, you know, the Everton players and the Swindon players are 20 yards further on. And this, again, they don't react quickly enough. This is the second goal, bad goal to lose. The 2 Swindon players, Moncur and Horlock, don't react quickly enough. Everett gets on, the end of it, and Tony Cotty, an easy goal.
It's obviously going to be very difficult for them, isn't it?
Well, if they've lost 60 goals already, there's only one way they're going to go.
Right. OK, now, what about the Mutch sending off? What did you make of that? Did you feel it was a bit harsh today or not?
I thought in the current climate he had to go off. I think 3 months ago he might have got away with it. It's a tussle with Everett, and Everett, you know, he's pulling, but the arm comes out and he definitely catches him. And as I say, in the current climate, he's got to go off. And it has to be said there that Swindon did get the free kick.
It wasn't quite an elbow in the way that we've seen it.
No, it wasn't an elbow. I think it was just a forearm, was it? The arm came out and caught him.
Dangerous enough.